complacent. They're like, it doesn't matter. Like, everything doesn't matter. All the discipline, like, they'll miss a job interview. They'll wake up late to work. And
Hmm.
the thing is, with marijuana, like, you stop caring. You become complacent. You
Hmm.
become complacent, and you accept mediocrity in your life.
Hmm.
Like, it's not like we're talking about physiological effects and hormonal effects and how it affects the body, but the body and the mind are connected. So, you see these people, they'll smoke, they'll get the munchies, and they'll eat everything in sight, and there you go. All that progress and all that effort that you put into the gym just gone because you were self-sabotaging yourself.
Hmm.
You have tried to make all these changes, but the one change that you should have made, you didn't make it. Now you're suffering the consequences.
Hmm.
And we're gonna go into the psychological effects and how it can affect you on like a more personal level, on a productivity level, on a even a societal and communal level. Let's go back to hormones.
Right.
So it's gonna lower your sperm quantity and quality. if you
Say that again.
it's gonna lower your sperm quantity and quality.
Whoo.
So, for
Talk to
all the
me.
brothers who are planning on having kids, I would recommend going completely off marijuana for at least 6 months before you are desiring to conceive, just to allow your sperm cells, your Leydig cells, and your testicles to kind of recover. Because if you are trying to conceive a child and you are smoking marijuana chronically, you are increasing your risk of your child having severe birth defects. You're conceiving a child with sperm that is abnormal, that is weak, that has a lot of abnormalities, and you're doing yourself and you're doing that future child a disservice. You're
And the
setting him
mother.
up for failure,
And the mother.
and the mother. So, like, there have been extensive studies on mice and on humans showing that long term this stuff is going to impact your fertility. This has been proven time and time again. Is going to lower your testosterone as well. So chronic use and administration, I mean, some people are going to call bullshit on this. Some people are going to tell me, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I smoke weed and I'm fine. You might be part of the 1%. You might be a genetic outlier. I'm talking about trends. I'm talking about data. I'm talking about things that are proven, right? This is going to reduce your testosterone. This is going to cause low libido. It is going to cause impotence, erectile dysfunction. This is going to wreck your intimate life. If you are someone that is, you are married, this is going to affect your marriage. This is going to affect your life. We need that libido not only for to kind of satisfy our natural functions, but and our spousal duties, but also just you use that libido as energy and as fuel to get stuff done in your daily life. To wake up, go to work, be the best person you can be on top of your training, on top of your spirituality, on top of everything. I see the brothers, even in our community, when you're smoking marijuana chronically, you are neglecting your diet, you're neglecting your responsibilities, you're neglecting your spouse, you're neglecting your children, you're neglecting your prayer, you're neglecting everything. And the thing is, you don't even realize because you don't care. You're in that haze, you're in that blur. So you are in a bubble. You are in a smoke screen away from reality. Everything doesn't matter. People say, no, you're talking about marijuana as if it was some sort of hard drug, but I've seen it with my own eyes. I've read the data, I've read the case reports, I've gone on the subreddits, and I've seen it, and I've compiled the hundreds and thousands of people who suffer from this, who get clean, who are trying to make positive changes in their life, who are trying to even ice some people. They're not aware, they'll live life at 30, 40, 50%, and they don't understand why.
Hmm.
And the thing is, like, it's a ripple effect. If you're consuming marijuana chronically, it is more than likely that your diet is shit, your sleep hygiene is shit, your training is shit. You're not necessarily a very driven person, so professionally speaking, you're not achieving your full potential. You're someone who is, accepting mediocrity.
Yep.
You're accepting, complacency. You're accepting the fact that you're putting this idea into your mind that, okay, this is my life and I can't do anything about it, when in reality, like, that's not the case. And a lot of people, see a tremendous increase in their quality of life when they do eventually get off. Another thing, like, for the brothers, you're suffering from hair loss. Sorry to say, but you gotta cut the weed. If
Yep.
you're suffering from gynecomastia, sorry to say, brothers, but weed gives you bitch tits. Man boobs, because of the elevated prolactin and the elevated estrogen, elevated serotonin, that is directly, it's not even, we're not even talking about correlation. We're talking about a causal relationship, because sometimes correlation does not equal causation, right? So elevated prolactin, elevated estrogen, man boobs. Straight up, you have a lot of brothers that are very insecure about their physiques. They have fat in areas where you shouldn't have fat. They are storing fat in their buttocks area, in their hips, which are usually the areas where females store fat.
Right.
We usually store fat in our gut as men. And when we start storing fat in our hips, buttocks, and other areas, this is very abnormal, and this is due to increased prolactin and estrogen. And if we start storing it in the pectoral area, in the chest, that, and especially, it's not just fat storing. You actually have a gland here, and that elevated prolactin is causing that gland to grow. And I've seen case reports of men that start lactating, that start producing milk.
Wow.
Like, this is crazy. But
And just for the record, your background is what again for the viewers?
So my background, so I have a bachelor's in biological sciences. I specialize in neuroscience and physiology, and I'm doing a master's in biological science as well, where I focus on cell and molecular biotechnology, and neuroscience as well. So, I have an academic background in the matter.
Yeah, this isn't just some YouTuber. This isn't some YouTuber.
So I mean, like, I spend my time reading studies. I spend my time trying to understand the science. I'm trying to dissect it, trying to make it palatable for, the broader audience,
Yeah.
right? So, it takes one person to read a study, but it takes another to understand it, to draw conclusions from it, and to be able to say, is this beneficial? Is this not beneficial? I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to fearmonger you and be like, yeah, this is, it had uses 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. But nowadays, the way things are, the way things are positioned, the way things have kind of evolved because of these greedy companies, because of these greedy businessmen, because of people in the community wanting to chase profits instead of, like, fight to improve the health of people. Like I said, you find extracts, oils and stuff like that are upwards of 90% THC. Like, that is very unnatural. Those are unnatural levels. Those are levels that we haven't even studied yet. There have been studies also showing, and this is established science. It fries your neurons. THC,
Absolutely.
in a dose dependent manner, is neurotoxic, right? Especially if it is imbalanced with the other cannabinoids. Because now what they do is that they'll grow a plant and they'll increase the THC levels to, however much they want to, and they'll decrease the levels of other cannabinoids. So effectively, you're just smoking pure THC with trace amounts of other cannabinoids, and that is extremely neurotoxic. Like, it has been shown and proven time and time again that it is not good for neuronal health. It's not good for brain health. It makes you sluggish. It makes you impaired. Like, all these people is like, no, when I smoke weed, I get shit done. It's like, yeah, you're an outlier once again, and it's not going to be for long. And I can guarantee you that the more that you continue to smoke, the more that you're setting yourself up for, like, side effects, and very nasty side effects, things that are going to take, the longer you smoke, the longer these things are going to take to clear. I'm just giving you the bottom line right here. um from a psychological standpoint, when your metabolism is off, when your hormonal health is off, how you feel, how you act is going to be off. So what I've seen a lot in people who smoke chronically is that they're very lazy. They're not able to get stuff done. They half-ass almost everything they do, whether that's their training, whether that's their diet, whether that's their relationships, whether that's their academics and professional endeavors and pursuits. Um, the thing is that it kind of dampens reality in a sense where it's like you're just there, you kind of exist, but you don't get anything done. You accept second best, you accept third best, but you are not going to be your best self if you're chronically smoking. Like,
Mm.
I'm giving it to you straight up. You know, you're going to accept mediocrity. Like, you'll smoke weed and you'll get a bad grade on an exam and you'll be like, whatever. Or you'll miss an important job interview or an important function, or you'll have responsibilities that you need to tend to and you won't do them because you're going to be in that haze. You're going to be in that smoke screen. You're going to be, somewhere else, but you got to be here,
Yeah.
you know?
And you can't be
So
here if your hormones are all disrupted.
you can't. And I think that, I'm not going to go into conspiracies and all of this, but I definitely think that you have to be smart enough to realize that this shit was intentionally engineered and put into the communities to not allow them to flourish. I mean, I compare it sometimes to crack in the same way that, and this has been proven,
Yeah.
that
You look at the
this,
carry. I'm sorry, but if you even look at the carryouts, you look at the carryouts where they're located at. They're located in the hood, in the ghettos. If you look at the liquor stores, they're right. They're owned. The liquor stores are owned by who? The same people that own the carryouts. It's a direct correlation.
and I believe that this is very detrimental to society. Now, to all our athletes, to the greater calisthenics and hybrid training community, if you're still unsure about marijuana and cannabis, and I got a lot of people saying that it helps me with my anxiety, it helps me sleep, it helps me ground myself. I'm just going to tell you that the sleep that you get on cannabis, so it reduces your sleep. Like, cannabis use chronically reduces sleep efficiency. I'm not going to talk about sleep quality or quantity. We're going to use more specialized and targeted terms. We're going to talk about sleep efficiency, right? So it's not necessarily about the quantity or the quality. It's actually going to be a metric that combines both. um, your sleep efficiency when you smoke cannabis, you're going to have less REM sleep.
So when you smoke cannabis.
So when you consume cannabis chronically, it is going to affect your sleep efficiency, which is a metric that combines your quality and quantity amongst other metrics. So when you're smoking chronically, it decreases your amount of REM sleep, which is basically the sleep that is very restorative for the body. It's an essential part of the sleep cycle. When you smoke cannabis, I don't know, for the people who smoke a lot, you're not dreaming at night. And the people that smoke for a long time and stop, they complain, or they either complain or they're happy because they get crazy dreams because that REM sleep is being reestablished. But the people that smoke chronically, like, your sleep efficiency is being at least reduced by like 50%.
Mm.
You're not benefiting from the most restorative part of the sleep cycle. Like, it is only going to help with your insomnia so much, to the point where, okay, like, you might have a harder time falling asleep when you do consume it, but you're going to sleep for longer periods of time, hence why your sleep is less efficient. You're going to need to sleep 9, 10, 11 hours, as opposed to someone who has all their metrics kind of aligned and optimized. They're only going to need 6, 7 hours and they'll jump out of bed. A lot of people, when they consume marijuana chronically, even if they sleep 10 hours, they're going to crawl out of bed. They're going to have a hard time getting their day started. And we're not even talking about like the after effects of weed, the hangover effect. Like, you can smoke and then, for the next 2 days, you'll feel weird. You're not going to be completely there. There's people who are going to suffer like depersonalization, or it'll be like a week or a couple months where they're just out of it,
Mm.
even if they don't consume. So I tell people, like, if you care about your sleep, if you care about your performance, if you care about your ability to gain muscle, because we're out here just telling you, this isn't beneficial, but we're not giving. Are we giving solutions? We're about to give you solutions.